Oops, wrong one. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the final game week, game week 38. I'm joined with Abin. After not a long time. You were there 2 podcasts ago? Yeah.
Yeah, no, 2 game weeks ago.
Yeah.
36. I was there 36.
Yeah.
Double game for you all people, but not you guys all free hitted. I didn't.
I wish I didn't free hit now. Looking back at it.
Now in hindsight, it looks like my free hitting in 37 was a better choice.
Yeah, exactly. In hindsight, a lot of things I did was very bad. But how you been?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I'm happy this is coming to an end. It's just been too stressful.
Yeah.
It for too long, right? It's we need to rest and get ready for new season.
Exactly.
Like I said, I want to start playing with my head and heart, and I need United to perform. That's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully next season I can actually pick some United players and not feel like they're going to destroy my rank or they're going to disappoint me. Hopefully. We'll see. All right, so today's podcast is basically going to be about just a 1 week punt, or whether we can find 1 week punts, because right now it's not good. Like, it's the last week. There could be swings here and there. Lots to play for as well, in terms of title race is still up in the air. Top 4, I think, is almost secured, with Spurs probably finishing in that 4th spot, but you never know. Anything could happen. Spurs could be Spurs and disappoint all of us. You never know. Relegation is still in the balance as well. So a lot of things happening on the final day. So we're going to look and see whether we can find a punt in all the chaos. So starting off, game week 38 fixtures, we'll look at the defense and attack, and the 38 punts. Punts isn't like just players who have performed over the last 6 game weeks in terms of stats, and then try and pick a punt from them. And then we'll look at the panel team. I've chosen to avoid looking at our teams because it's just been a disappointment. So we'll just go straight to the panel team, which has been doing pretty decently over the last few weeks. And if you look at the bench on the panel team, oh my god, I wish I started them. But yeah, let's go into 38 fixtures. All right, so on the right is the fixtures that are happening this season, and on the left are the fixtures that happened last season on game week 38.
Yeah, right.
So because I wanted to see, is it really true whether, because I don't remember now because of the fixtures being really good in 38 for like 1 week punts with goals flying all over the place.
Yeah.
And that kind of is the case. But it's mostly seems like it's the case for teams at home and also the good teams back then. Your likes of City, West Ham, Liverpool.
Yeah. I think it's I mean, I think it's based on where these guys are in the table.
Yeah.
If there's nothing to lose, like regardless of result, they keep their spot. It's they will just be playing free, very attacking, and just leave so much space and gaps and just going for it. But if it's very tight, like if you look at, I think like position 9 to 13, it's just within 3 points.
Yes.
Leicester, Brighton, Brentford, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. I think they'll be safe. Be playing it safe because especially the top end of it, rather than the bottom end of those guys, because a position here and there means millions and millions of dollars.
Yes.
In the prize money. So. I think, well, I don't know about United because I can't comment ever, but I think, people like
United need to win the game though.
I think United, I don't know if they need to win it.
No, because
they would lose.
No, but here the thing that United, so even West Ham need to win the game if they want to try and get into Europa League. Because right now West Ham are 7th, United are 6th. United can't afford to lose the game because if they lose the game, they'll go 7th. And then they'll end up in the Conference League, which is probably even worse than the Europa League. So they probably need to win that game very badly.
Yeah, like a draw won't be enough because our goal is just quite bad. So yeah. If I look across the table, I think teams that are safe and that will just go for us, probably like Chelsea, I guess. Yeah, regardless, they're going to be in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Tottenham, Arsenal. Arsenal need a result. Tottenham just need a draw, so they're fine. Obviously, City and Liverpool, we know they both need to win.
Yep.
But it's teams like Aston Villa have a lot to play for. Like if they get a win, they move up.
Steven Gerrard has a lot to play for in terms of trying to stop City.
Correct, exactly. They'll move from 14th. Well, I mean, even they still have 2 games in hand. One more to come now.
Yeah.
But I think teams like
Norwich relegated. Could rest a lot of players. Go ahead.
No, exactly. Yeah, Norwich relegated. Give their second. I don't even know what their first team is, to be honest.
Give the kids a chance, and then
Give
Spurs
the chance. Bring in Son. Hopefully, he can steal the Golden Boot. You never know.
Oh yeah, that's also things for that also. That he has Golden Boot to play for, so there's a lot to ride in.
Yeah, well, if Kane wasn't selfish, he would have given the penalty to Son to equal.
Kane is the guy who swore on his daughter that he got a goal of Eriksen's previous time.
Correct.
Yeah. So there's a lot to play for, and looking back at last season's GameWeek 38 as well, like the big teams were the ones that delivered the results. So like if you look at the Sheffield, Burnley, very low scoreline. Actually, Sheffield, Burnley was the only low scoreline. Everything else had goals. But in terms of the majority wins came from the home side. And if you look at the stats, we'll go into the stats a bit. This is the team defense for the last 6 game weeks. The teams I've highlighted are the teams that are playing at home. So a majority of the best defensive teams are at home for 38. And the same thing can be said for attack, where the majority of the teams that are the best attacking teams are all playing at home as well.
Yeah. The defense, it's Crystal Palace second.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Going up against a United team that needs to win.
Yeah. Okay.
So, how do you want to approach this? Do you want to look at like fixture by fixture and see what?
Yeah, I think. What? Yeah. Look, I mean, Arsenal and Everton, that's I think one of the huge games of the weekend. It's resting on both of them. I guess GameWeek 36 is not done yet, so we'll have to see how Burnley play. I don't remember who they're playing.
Burnley, I think, are going to lose this game. I think they're playing. Let me check actually.
Who they're playing?
When I looked at it before, I was like, yeah, Burnley could end up losing this game because they are playing Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, yeah.
There's a possibility Aston Villa will rotate in this game and try to keep all their players fresh for City, but we don't know.
Yeah. So, look, Everton, depending on that result, but Everton needs results. They need to get out of where they are. So you expect a performance from them, but again, it's a away game for Everton, and we know how they've been all season. I think they've collected 8 points all season away from home. It's been shocking, but obviously results have been better for them recently. So, but Arsenal, I can't see them getting a result. To be honest, they've been very shallow the last 2 weeks.
They have been pretty poor. They basically bottled their top 4 chances when they had so many games in hand as well. Top 4 was in hand. The only thing I would see, here's the thing. I feel like I see this game being where Everton take a 1-0 lead and then try and defend it for all they can.
Yeah.
The only advantage Arsenal will have is that they're playing at home. But if they're not playing well, that home advantage could turn into a negative as well because the Arsenal fans could turn on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think Everton. I prefer Everton in this match, but yeah, Arsenal haven't been great going forward or defensively as well. Ramsdale has been a disappointment.
Yeah. Who did Everton lose to this week? Oh, they lost to Brentford.
They lost to Brentford due to the red card. So
yeah.
If they don't lose any players, they should be
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I wouldn't look into in terms of a 1-week punt. I don't think you're going to get a punt here. This is going to be a very cagey game.
Yeah.
So let's probably look into Brentford Leeds now. Leeds need a win as well, very badly. Because they are also fighting for relegation. They are just 1 point above relegation. So if Burnley win their game, Burnley go top and then Leeds go into relegation as well.
Yeah.
So Leeds need a win very badly. But Leeds have been getting red cards after red cards. Players losing.
I don't know where the goals are coming from. They're playing Rafinha in a defense wing going back.
Mm.
And now the news that I think he's moving to Barcelona as well.
Yep.
It's overnight I saw the news hitting on that he, that's a done deal. So I don't know where the goal's coming from.
Neither do I. And I don't know where they're keeping clean sheets as well, because Brentford could be a decent punt in terms of a Tony or even a Ericsson. Maybe not. I don't know, maybe Ericsson, you never know.
I reckon Ericsson, to be honest. I was just even looking at his stuff in terms of my game weeks, and he's got his returns. I mean, he's got his. You kind of see whenever there's a goal, he's there to assist.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So he could also be a decent punt, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it, because I feel like Brentford could be, and Brentford are playing at home as well. It's their final game of the season. Home fans will be up for it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked if Brentford pull a result, but Leeds did that win very badly though.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not in Buemu, maybe. I don't know.
No. I'm never going back there for this season.
Right now I've actually strongly considering Ericsson. I just have him in like a rough draft or what I might do, and he's there right now.
Yeah, exactly. I can see like his last 2 games have been decent in terms of returns as well.
Yeah.
Could be. Ericsson could be a very decent punt, to be honest. He'll be on set pieces as well.
Yeah.
Brighton versus West Ham. Bowen on absolute fire. West Ham need to win. Brighton could be a bit defensively tough though. Thoughts?
I can't remember why we all removed Bowen from our teams, but he's just been delivering week in, week out. It's I think he has the thing of the most valued player for the season.
Yeah.
In terms of per million, it's pretty impressive. I don't know. I don't know if I will still get him for the game week. I mean, I can see most people have brought him in this week, but I can't tell how that game is going to go.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at the stats, right? Attacking stats, West Ham, just mid-table. And who is it? Brighton. Brighton are just above West Ham in terms of attacking stats.
Yeah. In defense?
Defense, Brighton are mid-table and West Ham are below Brighton. So yeah, I don't think Brighton's going to be an easy game. And
it won't be an easy game. And look, they're right now in 10th position. So I think they'll want to consolidate the top 10. I mean, that's a huge result for them if that happens. So it will. I think it'll be a low scoring, and they will be playing defensively. So I can't think of any attacking players to think of there, other than Trossard, since he's seems good value, but or maybe even defensive Cucurella, but I can't see any attacking return.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's going to be they're going to just try to protect their position on the table.
Yep. Burnley Newcastle. Now Burnley again. This is another team that needs another result. We've gone into 4 games, and now all 4 matches need results from some team or the other. Burnley need a result if they want to try and hope that they don't get relegated. Newcastle, on the other hand, are showing excellent, I think, championship form is what I would say. Ever since they got
since the start of the year, they're 3rd in the league.
Exactly. So
behind Liverpool. So that is, I mean, it's quite ridiculous what they've done this season. First 14 games, no wins. 7 wins, 7 draws, 7 losses, and then Eddie Howe comes in, and unreal job he's done, unbelievable. And Bruno Guimaraes he seems to be delivering every week. He seems to be involved every other week. So and look, I like watching Callum Wilson. I was happy to see him again. He just reminds you of. He's just around, he's no fucking Chris Wood. I've had Chris Wood for 3 game weeks. He's just been sitting there benching and not doing anything.
Yeah, Callum Wilson is way better.
He's just involved so much. He's so I wouldn't mind if I getting him in. But you never know. Burnley need a result, so they could be on the back foot all thing and looking for a counter and trying to win somehow.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, exactly, I agree. Burnley will be looking to probably like counter, but I feel like Newcastle will be slightly too good for them. To be honest, I don't see really like Burnley getting much of a result. But in terms of will it be a high scoring game, I don't think so, because Newcastle don't really need a win very badly. They're kind of somewhat secure. If they want to end up in the top 10 of the table, then maybe. I still think they can take a 1-0 and then probably keep it quiet for them. But the next game is where I think some goals are going to be flying in. Chelsea versus Watford.
Yeah.
There's a lot in this game with the fact that there could be a lot of last games for a lot of Chelsea players. Alonso, Rudiger, Aspilicueta maybe. A lot of Chelsea players are coming to their final game probably for the club. So
didn't realize that there's so many off contract.
Yeah. So there could be, I don't know how this game will play out, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are goals. We saw Leicester put 5 past Watford. And I think Chelsea are a better team and capable of putting equally the same amount if needed.
And look, and I think a good sharp Hunters Mount. I read somewhere of how he's been a kind of a bully to the teams in the bottom 5 of the table. He's got, and versus everyone else, I think he's got. If you break it down, his stats are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
For bottom 5 and facing Watford, it smells of another good outcome for him.
I hope so. I have him in my team. I hope so.
So I mean, I've got him in like as my draft as well. So it's you probably take him because you think he's more nailed down. Because you just never know with everyone else who's going to play. It's Lukaku playing, it's Werner playing, it's Havertz playing.
Yeah.
I think Mount is the best of the attacking, just to know certainty of playing, and then defense. Obviously, you have a James or Alonso, you should be good.
Rich James, this is the time for you to reward your owners for keeping them for so long. If he doesn't get anything from this, if he gets another 1 or 2 pointer, that will sum up this season from Rich James. But yeah, I think Rich James, Marcus Alonso, Mason Mount are probably the more solid, safer picks in terms of you could get points and also guaranteed minutes. But like you mentioned, Werner, Lukaku, Havertz, we don't know the minutes with regards to those players. Yeah, so Chelsea assets I like a lot for this week.
Yeah.
Any of them. Palace versus Manchester United. Now, Man United need a win.
Where's the result coming from?
It's on Ronaldo's hands, and that's it. If Ronaldo scores, we win. If Ronaldo doesn't score, United lose and end up in the Conference League.
If he's your punt, who do you get rid of in your team?
I wouldn't be against doing Salah to someone cheap and bringing Ronaldo in.
Okay.
Like Salah to a Mount and Ronaldo, and like upgrading your second striker to Ronaldo.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I probably won't do it because we saw the defensive data for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
It was really good. So I probably won't do it for that specific reason. But when it comes to the clutch moments, if there's one player in the league who I would trust for clutch moments, it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's no way he'll be wanting to play in Conference League.
No. He himself, like we saw in the Champions League, he was like, we're not going to Europa League, and he won that game against in the group stage. So if there's any one player I would pick, it would be him. That's it. But yeah, in terms of, because of the value and trying to move him, to bring him in is not easy at this stage because you'll have like your son, you'll have your Kane and all, would be better picks.
Agreed.
Palace, I don't know. A lot of people bought Zaha in. If Crystal Palace get a penalty, maybe. But apart from that, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no standard. I mean, I've got Zaha. I'm a free hit, but he hasn't done it. He blanked. And it's not like a pick I would make in a normal game week anyway. It just was a double game week, and I mean, the only player from Crystal Palace that did well for me was Gallagher for a period of time. And that's about it. So, to be honest, I'm not even looking at that game in terms of my squad for the
same. Fair. Next up, Jamie Vardy, will he have a party? Leicester versus Southampton.
There's another game. It's my punt. It's Southampton. They've been okay. Been average. And then where are they? Even in the league, 15th. They have nothing to play for.
They have nothing to play for. Yeah.
Win or lose, they're 15th.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what. Yeah. So it's, but Leicester, good form recently. Home game, I think it could be a bit of a rout. So Vardy, Maddison, Barnes have to, those three have all returned handsomely in the last couple of game weeks.
Wish I just went on them this week itself. But Vardy, Maddison. I like Vardy and Maddison mainly out of the three, out of those three, but Vardy and Maddison mainly. And like if you look at the defense, right? the team defense last 6 game weeks, Southampton are dead last for defense. They're that bad recently. So this for me seems like, again, this is similar to like Ronaldo in the terms of trying to get Vardy. Affording Vardy is not a very easy task.
Yeah.
Affording Madison is a much more easier task though.
Yeah.
So I think both of those could be really good punts. Vardy could actually be a really good captaincy punt as well if anyone's looking to be very differential.
Absolutely.
Thoughts?
Yeah, no, exactly. There's nothing more to say to that. It's one of my games of the game week, as for playing around with, and those three have performed. So nothing more. Sort of not. I mean, nobody in defense. It's just those three.
Yeah.
Rightful.
Fair enough. Up next, Liverpool versus Wolves, a team that has been disappointing me since game week 30. Even though as a United fan, I should be kind of happy that they're disappointing me. But from an
FPL, how they still win every game.
Exactly, that's the problem. From an FPL perspective, they're disappointing me quite a lot. Because Robertson, Salah, Trent, not really like been benched recently and all of that. I feel like now let's answer the big question. Salah. You have Salah, or do you still have?
I do have him in my team, but if I want to make my punts, I need to get rid of him. And right now, that's what my draft is kind of doing.
Yeah,
get rid of him, because if he returns, good for him. But I think it's time to play around a bit, because because I've got him and De Bruyne in my team, and I think I'll keep De Bruyne.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think for now that's my thinking, but I don't think I'll have both of them in my thing, because I have to get rid of one if I want to have a bit of fun.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think if you have Salah, and if you're in like that, I don't know, man. At this point, I feel like if you have Salah, the best thing to do you could do is probably get rid of him and bring in some players that you can take a punt on. Because right now, if you're, let's say, in the top 5K, take a punt. If you're on that edge of like that 9K, 10K, and you're trying to stay in there, maybe you can be a bit more safe. But for anyone who's like doesn't like, the rank is not going to, the outcome isn't going to change much, and you want to try something really punty, then I would get rid of Salah. I don't think there's a point of owning him against Wolves, and we don't even know whether he'll play or not. That's another thing. Because Champions League final is 1 week after that. I have Robertson and Trent. I don't mind owning them and starting them.
Louise Diaz.
Now that's what I want to talk about. Louise Diaz. He could be a punt.
Well, I think he was in my free hit team.
Yes, yeah, same.
He's going to be my big guy.
Yeah,
and he doesn't even play. So
exactly, that's the one issue. Now,
you reckon that he was going to be playing the weekend then, if he's not in this team?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So he'll most likely play on the final game week 38 is what I'm thinking. But I don't think he'll get to the full 90 minutes because Champions League final. So he may get about 70 odd minutes. But I still think he can do damage in that.
I think that'll all happen according to how the game goes. If it's still in the balance and whatever's happening at City, you never know.
Yeah.
Then he'll be. So I think depending on that situation, we'll see how long he plays. If it's if City cruising in one game, then Liverpool doesn't care. They'll rest all their. They'll make all the substitutions and just.
That's true.
Figure it out. But if it's if it's a draw is happening at City, and there's nothing really happening, I think Diaz will be playing the full game.
The other advantage is the fact that all the games are at the same time and starting at the same time. We could potentially get some leaked team news before the deadline.
Yeah,
there's a possibility. So if anyone is wanting to wait, maybe hold on those transfers before the deadline, just to see whether we get, because in the past we've got Liverpool team news a bit more early in terms of getting leaked. In the last few weeks, it hasn't happened as much, but we could potentially get that before the deadline. And if you see Louise Diaz starting, I don't mind taking a punt on getting him in.
Yeah.
Apart from that, Salah, I probably drop. I think you also drop in to try and get in the other players, which I think would be a pretty good thing. Yeah. City versus Aston Villa. How do we call this game? This is a tough one.
Well, I won't have any City players. I mean, Villa players. I won't have them because you still imagine City getting the job done, especially being at home. unless who knows what Steve Gerrard can come up with. But I think is it a draw is not enough for City, is it?
Let me check. I don't think so. No, I think they need to win.
Yeah.
City, no, they can't draw. They're 1 point behind.
Yeah, right.
Liverpool are 1 point behind, so they can't draw. They have to win this game.
So I know it's all the Stevie G story, the background, and all that happening. I just can't see it.
No, neither can I.
Stopping the City juggernaut, and they will get it done. And that's why I think my team still has a triple City with the Cancelo, De Bruyne, and Jesus. So
I would keep De Bruyne and Cancelo. Maybe Jesus, I don't mind getting rid.
Yeah, problem is I'll just have him because I don't have any other one else because I already have him, Wood and Greenwood.
Okay.
Yeah. So I rather get rid of Wood rather than
fair enough.
And hopefully play 2 strikers.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I can see City getting the results.
Who would you take from Villa?
I wouldn't take anyone from Villa.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be a cagey game where Villa will try their best to try and get a goal and then park the bus as much as they can. But I don't think anyone's going to be able to park the bus against City.
Yeah.
And City are playing at home. I feel like City will win this.
Yeah. They don't. It'll be one of the biggest chokes ever.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll be watching that. I'll be doing a watch along as well on live. So for anyone on the chat who's right now, also we'll answer the chat questions as well after we cover the Norwich Spurs game as well. But yeah, I would keep De Bruyne and Cancelo because I still think they're good for attacking returns and clean sheets. Jesus, I'm a bit meh, but if you want to bring in like another striker and get rid of Chris Wood, that's not a bad idea as well.
Yeah.
And then finally Norwich versus Spurs. I think goals galore here. Heung-min Son, Golden Boot chase.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the same trio we always have, right?
Yeah.
Kulusevski, Son, Kane. It's take your pick.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I try to. I'm not sure if as much as I would want them in my team, I don't know. I feel I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I can afford it, but it'll put me off on other moves that I want to make.
Okay.
I think are going to happen. Where I think more will happen for some reason.
I think this is the.
I struggle a lot with Spurs because they do have outstanding games and have outstanding results, and then they lose games that they shouldn't be losing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Draw games that they shouldn't be. And I'm not saying they'll do like Norwich and they'll beat them.
Yeah.
They should beat them. But if I bring Son in, I can't get a premium striker.
Yeah.
That's the conundrum I'm in. I'd like to have him, and I think it'll be a problem if I don't get him. So I have to decide if I want Son or do I want Vardy. So they say.
Okay. That's well. That's where you have to like decide on a punt and go. I guess that's the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but out of those three, I think Spurs, Kane, Kulu, and Son are probably the best three from that game. Son is probably going to be.
Son has to be like right number 1 on that list.
Yeah, no. Son will probably be the number 1 captain pick this week.
Unless Kane becomes a jerk and doesn't, give him responsibility for penalties and whatever, then
if there's a penalty that if Kane takes a penalty, if there's a penalty in that game and if Kane takes it, I'll be disappointed about Kane for not being sportsmanlike.
Yeah, it's I mean, I already found it this week unsportsmanlike. You get a game, so he's just being selfish.
I think Son is probably going to be the number 1 captaincy choice for this week.
Yeah.
And he's good reason because he's going for Golden Boot and everything. Okay, let's answer some questions. So first one, Sugarbender, what to do with Salah? Well, we kind of answered that. I would probably drop. You also drop in.
Yeah, I think it depends on your on your rank. You're trying to be safe, and I think you just have to stay close to the news, close to deadline time. If you want to play it safe, you'd keep him because of his effective ownership, and you want. But again, if you want to take your punt, you like what seems like Ryan and I are both doing. We have nothing really to lose our ranks. You get rid of him, and there's so many punts that you can take that we've discussed so far. That are very appetizing to do rather than keep.
Exactly. Bliss says best players to target this week must be Leicester, Chelsea, Spurs, and Liverpool. Yeah, I would probably agree. Yeah,
it's exactly what I said. It's like Leicester, exactly. I've got, Vardy, Madison, Barnes. You have to, Vardy, especially Vardy for me. I mean, I've had Barnes and Madison through the season, and Vardy was injured for so long, and it's good to see what he's been doing in the last couple of game weeks. So I'm going towards him for the last game.
Yeah, fair enough. It could be a really good punt last week.
Yeah. I would have discounted even adding Brentford maybe to that list.
Yes, that's true.
It's home ground, last game of their first season. It's I think they against Leeds as well. So
I wouldn't count. Yeah, like Tony Eriksson, I wouldn't like put it against them as well to kind of like deliver.
Yeah.
Next one, Russell says, I'm thinking of getting rid of Salah and Dennis and bringing in Lukaku and Mount for a -4. Diaz and Robertson had killing me mini league. Okay, so he's thinking of doing Salah and Dennis and bringing in Lukaku Mount. I like Mount, but I'm not sure about Lukaku. I'll probably go Vardy instead.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Lukaku. Yeah, it's we all started the season with, I think somebody would have him in this squad, but you just don't know. Like you'd rather get as much interest of having, is he going to start the game?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's a good differential because he has got some goals recently, but I think the more appetizing one is probably a Chelsea midfielder, and then maybe a Vardy, Kane striking force.
Yeah, fair enough. Exactly. And then Dubra also asked, is Bowen a good punt? Yeah, maybe.
For sure. I mean, he's a top, like we said, discussed earlier, he's the top transfer for the week, most valuable player in the league. It's just that game against Brighton, it's a bit of a cagey game that West Ham need to win if they want to get to Europa League. So they will be going for it, but Brighton, they can't afford to lose. I think they if they lose, because the margin between them, like from position 9, Leicester and right at the same point.
If they want to end up in the top 10,
it's so little. So I think they will play a defensive game. So nervous. But I mean, he's in great form, absolutely. So it's.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't put it past him because, again, like I said, he's in great form. So he could be a really good punt this week as well. And obviously, the last few weeks he's been performing really well as well. So he could be a good. I wouldn't, if you have him, I wouldn't transfer him out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Then James asked, who to captain between Diaz and Sessegnon? I wouldn't captain Sessegnon, but I don't mind starting Sessegnon. In terms of Diaz, I like Diaz as a punt this week. Armband wise, I might not go there, but we'll have to see. If Diaz is starting, I don't mind taking him in. But in terms of captaining between Sessegnon and Diaz, then I would go Diaz out of those two.
Absolutely.
Which player to target for 7.7 forward or midfielder? I think midfield has more options in terms of that value. 7.7.
7 point how much?
7.7 million.
Mount.
Yeah, that's Mount, right? That's a Mount price range.
Mount. Fixtures target exactly is Chelsea, Leicester. So I'd go Mount, Madison, Barnes.
Yeah, true. That's that in that specific order I would go. Yeah,
that's the budget for sure.
Yeah. Your midfield is where you get your value from there. And then can't believe Liverpool's team last night. Yes, I can't believe that. Looks like having to go against Sun this weekend because I can't take a big hit. I have Diaz, Kulu, Kane, Spurs wise, and have to stick with that. Yeah. Oh, here's Davis, Kulu, Kane. Yeah, fair enough. If you have a triple Spurs already, then it's a bit more harder to bring Sun in. But then it also gives you the money to try and get people like you mentioned, like a Vardy, even stack up on the midfield as well if needed. And then final question from Russell is, I have 18.8 million to spend when I get rid of Salah, Dennis, one centre mid and striker apart from Mount, Lukaku, Vardy. Which other two options do you think? So apart from, let's say, Mount, Lukaku, or Vardy, I guess Maddison, like we mentioned. Anyone else? Maddison, Son.
What's the budget?
So they'll have 18.8 million to spend when they get rid of Salah and Dennis. So I guess Mount will take about 7. Yeah, Lukaku will take about 11, right? Yeah, so you won't have much budget left. So it'll probably just be like a Mount and a striker. Probably like a Vardy. Unless you're doing another striker as well, then probably. But then, what I would say is just wait for the deadline and then probably see whether we get some league team news and then decide that. Have a short list of players that you want and then make a decision on that, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think I don't know if that person has a City player. I would have De Bruyne. But like we said, you target the serious targets for punting week is Chelsea and I think Leicester and.
Yeah, true. One lesson I've learned this season is one lesson I've learned this weekend is fixtures are king, and I've kind of avoided that at times where I've gone, oh, Leicester not that great this time, and then I've avoided them when they've had like really good fixtures like Watford. So yeah, fixtures are king. Target teams that have really good fixtures. Yeah, De Bruyne is a good option as well. Even though he has a tough fixture. If you have him, I will keep him. If you don't have him, I don't really know if I'll bring him in. Probably not, because I think there are better options.
Bring him in. It's just if you didn't have if you have him, I would not take him out.
Yeah. If you have him, don't take him out. If you don't have him, it's a no sell, no buy, no sell.
Look, it's City's last game of the season. There's no Pep relay. You know what his strongest team is. De Bruyne is there.
Yeah, exactly. That's
there. And no doubt about that. So,
all right. Now, this was just like it took the top 40 players in terms of XGI, and like some of the players we mentioned are already on this list. You got your Son, you got your Jesus, Bruno Jimenez you mentioned, but yeah, this list can be found on the Fantasy Football Scout members area, or you can pause the video as well if you wanted to have a look at this list. But most of the players we discussed are on this list as well. Having said all of that, shall we move into the panel team?
Yeah.
All right, panel team. Here we go. The panel team has been doing pretty well. I know. Panel team doesn't want to arrive up.
Why you want to show your team for the week?
No, I don't want to show my team. My team, guys, you guys can see it on the deadline day stream. So far, I'm on a green arrow, but it's been a disaster of a bench boost, and I should have learned my lesson. Okay. So this is the panel team. 60 points so far on the free hit. Matip and Sessegnon on the bench.
Oh, look at
that. But yeah, the panel team has gone up to 251. If we can get this panel team in the top 200k or even in the top 250k, I think it's a success, given that most of the time we ended up forgetting about the team as well in terms of transfers.
And look, and it was our differential team. It was our it was our punt team for the season. So obviously we were never playing it safe. It was always gambles, and sometimes it didn't pay off, sometimes pay off. So
yeah, we should have played maybe Vardy as captain or Richard. I don't know. Vardy should have gone. Yeah, but yeah, we did try this as like a differential team, and we'll probably do it next season as well. And so far, it's a pretty good rank, I would say, for a team that we've hardly focused on and not really bothered about price rises and everything. Hold on, I have lost my login. Okay, so what move would we make on this team?
It's just one transfer, is it?
Well, here's Salah. Let's probably do that. We can take another transfer as well if you wanted to.
Okay, so wait, hang on, let's see. So is Laporte, he's not injured, right?
No. So actually, let's show how the team would look like. So the team would probably look like something like this, maybe. I would say. I don't mind captaining Pickford, actually. No, captain playing Pickford. So in this team, we could probably remove Salah. And we could try bringing Vardy, maybe, that we've been speaking about.
Yeah, okay.
And someone.
Yeah. So I think
Salah, let's remove Pookie.
Yeah.
Let's go Leicester. Let's bring in Vardy. And 8.8 we have for the midfield slot.
Yeah. I mean, you've already got Mount.
Do we wait before we make the Vardy move as well? Wait till the Chelsea game is done?
I think so. I think I wouldn't make any moves right now.
Yeah.
The intention is Vardy, and we'll see.
Someone else.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, maybe Liverpool player. We never know.
Yeah, we never know.
I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot to still. We have to wait for the game week to end.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
injuries or anything. But
Yeah. Yeah, but that's probably where we will end up with. And in terms of captaincy, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Son, or maybe it will be
Vardy.
differential and go Vardy. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. That's basically it for the panel team. And thank you all for the questions as well, and for being part of the stream. We'll have the deadline day stream on Sunday, as well as a watch along after that as well for the games. So make sure to stay tuned, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you, Abin, as well, for keeping me company.
Awesome.
All right, see you everyone.
See ya.